Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Huntermun, and this is Euro Truck Simulator 2. And I have just taken a mission. I'm gonna double check it real quick. We are delivering fireworks from Szeged, HU, Hungary, maybe, to Craiova, Romania. 21 hours remain. We are trying to go for more than... We are trying to hit more than about 2 experience points a kilometer. And right now we are about 1.9. So this delivery is going to help set the pace. We're going to see if I can get over 2 experience points a mile. It means I have to make no things worthy of fines. No anything worthy of fines. And also... and also, you know, get as timely, as fragile, as hazardous as possible. I don't know why that truck is stopped there, but it seems a little sus. I don't know if they got into a wreck and I just can't see it. Also, we have to avoid ferry routes because ferry routes add distances. What we're trying to do is get to 20,000 experience points over the course of... or in less than 10,000 miles. So the sweet spot, I'm told, is around 250 kilometers, going for as much hazardous and fragile as possible. And also timely. And we're going to see if we can hit that sweet spot. I'm going to need this light to be green.
Go straight on.
So. So, without anything else to talk about, I have picked the topic of Assassin's Creed because it came out up on stream the other day. If anybody's watching in the playlist or seen earlier in the stream, like me and Mao, we were kind of catching up like what he thought his favorite games were in the series. And I'm trying to do from worst to best, right? So I've already knocked out a couple of games. And somewhere in the middle of the list, I think my next listed game would be Black Flag. Now, anybody who might be watching who is interested in joining the conversation, please do so in the chat. Or if you're watching later on YouTube, comment down below. If you give me a second, I can recap the order, but obviously the worst game in the series, in my opinion, worst overall game, to be clear. It has to be overall game. Because some games have better story than other games, some games are mechanically more sound than other games, and some games are way buggier than other games in the series. But for me, the worst overall game in the series is Revelations. So bad that I went into great detail about it last night on the VOD, but also earlier in the playlist. So, I gotta make a right-hand turn coming up. After that, I went with Origins as the second worst game in the series. And not through any real fault of its own, exactly, because the story in the game is possibly the best in the series as far as how well it is character development and execution, stuff like that. But the main problem with Origins is just how dreadfully bad the gameplay became in that game, and really just sucked all the fun out of it at every step of the way. So the game isn't mechanically sound, it isn't fun, it's a little buggy, it's terrible stealthing, and just all around not a good entry in the series mechanically speaking. But it also has some of the best gameplay, which is, you know, par for the course with Ubisoft, with them making a game that's a little bit one-off and has its issues, and also starring a black character so that they can go, oh, see, gamers, they just don't want to play a game with a black character, rather than going, oh, we fucked up a little bit and the mechanics weren't that great. That's what happened with Liberation when they shoved a Assassin's Creed game on the PSP, and that's basically what happened with Origins and Bayek. Why I sort of don't... okay, thought I was going to hit that. Totally thought I was going to hit that. Was utterly convinced going to hit that. Trying to get back up to 40 kilometers. Yeah, I'm trying to talk and drive at the same time, but it would be better to talk to you guys. So it looks like I've got a bunch of viewers. And you know, it's perfectly cool to sit and, you know, watch quietly. I have absolutely no problem with that. If you want to just chill out, that's cool. Especially if you want to hear me ramble about Assassin's Creed. But, interacting with you guys is both enjoyably distracting for me playing this game, and also, you know, more than one-sided. I don't know how interesting I am to just listen to me ramble. Well, I'm not really rambling exactly. I do ramble sometimes, like I'm doing right now. Wait, no, it's Rambleception. But still, if you are out there watching, it would be cool to have you. So, and that was my whole thing about Origins, is that mainly it's the gameplay that holds it back. This is me trying to drive and also look at my cell phone at the same time. After that, it's not quite a mainline entry in the series, but there was one of the original PSP game that came out, which stars Altair, the main character of the first Assassin's Creed game. He has a game that is a direct sequel to Assassin's Creed 1 called Altair Chronicles on the PSP. Mainly that game is hampered by the way the controls work out, especially that there's no camera stick in the game, and that they do this thing where, like, holding, I think, the left or right shoulder button in conjunction with pressing any of the 4 face buttons is what you use to control your camera. And it would be nice if you could bind multiple buttons to emulators, so that you could still use the analog stick and use that functionality. That would be nice. But I haven't met an emulator that does that yet. Because besides PS Vita, that game is going to be hard to come by as far as playing it goes. And really, I mean, no fault through its own, it's got pretty good cutscenes. It's definitely on the short side. Its story is kind of simple and straightforward. Unauthorized border crossing? Unauthorized border crossing? What? What? Hold on. We're going for an achievement now, so reloading is on the table. What do you mean unauthorized border crossing? How distracted was I? I can't even compute where I crossed a border. What are you talking about? Alright, well, I guess we're doing this. What? Did I skip a station?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's try that again. We're right here in front of it. I guess the game autosaves pretty frequently. I really wish it didn't start you stopped on the highway. I kind of would prefer a rolling start,
Right,
but
and then exit right.
it is what it is.
Exit right.
Unauthorized border crossing? That was a pretty big fine. What did I do exactly? Actually, that speed limit thing said 5. That speed limit thing said 5 kilometers per hour.
Let's find a new route.
Am I going through the wrong gate? No, that's a truck gate. What did I skip? Checking your documents, please wait. Did I not read something? What did I do wrong? Everything is in order. Have a nice journey. Proceed straight to complete the inspection. Okay, that other truck went this way. And
Find
then...
a new route.
Is that... Wait, so this is a truck lane and that's... Unauthorized border crossing! What? Eh? What? Well, I feel a little shown up now, unfortunately. I've grabbed the attention of people who are watching, and now I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Let me zoom this mini-map all the way in. Am I already, like, going the wrong way or something? No, that's where I'm supposed to be going. What the hell? Okay. We're gonna kind of stare down at this mini-map for a moment. Minimap is like, go straight. I'm like, okay. It's like, okay, now go 80, now go 60. Now go, what, 40, then 30? Yeah, there's the 40 sign. Okay, we got truck, truck, truck.
Right.
Bus, bus, car, car, car. So I want to go, let me go to the farthest right. Did I go through the bus lane? Is that what happened? Okay, so that should be car, car, car.
Go straight on.
Wait, so I must have gone through the bus route? No. Did I hit something? Something just bumped me. I felt it in the controller. Start the border check. Lorries. The lorry has started to move. Checking all your documents. Everything is in order. Do I need to pull up on this thing? Did I have to go through this gate and I didn't do it? Stop at the mark and stop the engine for the inspection. Okay. Apparently that was a thing I didn't do. Stop the engine. Is this a thing I have to do for explosives? Maybe? Well, we're about to find out if I'm gonna get the... I feel like that was not properly conveyed. Please pull a vehicle at the inspection of the nearest way station. Okay. So way station is up ahead. Cool. Okay, so I passed the marker where before it would have told me I failed. Interesting, interesting. So I guess I gotta go to that far right inspection thing. I guess when I have explosives? Question mark? Is that what happened? Your total weight is 24 tons. You may proceed. Then that's tons with an extra NES on it. All right, yield on in, dude. Let's go. Okay. I guess I've learned something. My bad. We were all here together. We all learned it. I think that must have something to do with my hazardous materials that I've got. That it wanted me to, like, go through an extra step of inspection that it wasn't being clear I needed to... Like, the mini-map wasn't directing me to go through that route. So I had no idea that I was doing something wrong. But when I went through that rightmost gate, it was like, okay... I saw the flag go up on the other place up ahead and it was like, pull in here and turn off your engine. I was like, okay. Alright, my bad. My bad. So that happened. So... I seem to be catching this vehicle, so that's unfortunate. But it looks like... Oh, he's turning, so that's fine. Okay. Driving one-handed. Okay, so just to go backwards through the list, next on the list was Syndicate, which isn't like a bad game, it's just not a memorable game. I pretty much don't remember anything about the game except for the Assassin's Creed bad boss fight at the end. But I'm just going through the list for anybody. Like, you can watch earlier in the playlist if you want to get the whole rundown. But after that would be Rogue, which I really liked, but like wasn't super memorable itself. And like I was saying at some point, the thing about going through the games in the series is that you're going to reach a point where a lot of the games are pretty good and about the same quality. Not that any one game is definitely better or worse than another one. And if you want to chat me up and have a discussion about it, that's cool. If you want to comment below about how you think my order is wrong, it's possible that by the time you do that, I will have changed my opinion on where things stand. But right after Rogue, I'm going to put Black Flag, which I believe Mal put as his number 1, and I don't really feel the same way. Mostly because Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a better pirate game than it is an Assassin's Creed game, and it's not that great of an Assassin's Creed game. It kind of stumbles out of the gate from trying to pick up where Assassin's Creed 3 left off, and it doesn't really do a good job of that. It doesn't introduce an interesting new character in the present day for you to be playing as, and its one new addition is the advent of a character called the Sage, which I've gone over a couple of times, but basically just amounts to a character that is somewhat timeless and can come up through history multiple times. And in the course of Black Flag, obviously, it should be clear that they show up in the past story that you're dealing with, and also, again, in the present story that you're dealing with in first person. And it is what it is. Pretty sure I touched on all of those, so Blake, I think I described them previously. This is a very narrow passageway, so I definitely shouldn't look down at my phone and find out what game I put next on the list right now, because that would be distracted driving and I would crash. But then again, that might be pretty interesting. So I'm going to give it this one curve, and yes, I am driving with just the left analog stick right now, so we're going to see how this goes. Especially because I need to keep right. Quickly, it says Odyssey. Odyssey, a game I put 135 hours into and got the platinum. I mostly enjoyed my time with it. It has an enjoyable gameplay loop, and it is a better version of whatever Origins thought it was doing. Okay, we're back on the road. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Now we're down to 80. Anybody might be tuning in and saw me do all those reloads earlier. It's just because I'm going for an achievement. Otherwise, I tend to let the chips fall where they may, and I try and recover and, be reasonable about it. Anybody who's been watching, if you're watching the playlist on YouTube at this point, like the big one, the big long one of all the Truck Simulator games, you're probably at, I don't know, episode 70 or 80, so you'd know that to be the case at this point. Okay, we're slowing the hell down. This route is not clear for me to enter, so I'm going to wait for this white car, see what they do. Especially because it was a cop. Hey, don't pull out. Don't pull out. I'm here. Exiting now. So, Odyssey is... It's a pretty fun game to play. It's not a great Assassin's Creed game. It doesn't really do anything that's worthwhile. Oh, look, it's... I feel like I'm sitting really far back from the steering wheel right now. I can't see my RPMs. Oh, whoops, I can't see anything because my lights are out. I'm glad a cop didn't call me on my lights being out. What was I saying? Alright, so Odyssey. Odyssey... I mean, I played it for 135 hours, but for those last 45 hours, I was like, game, I'm gonna need you to end. It was just going on and on and on and on, and it always had more story and more characters to interact with. I forgot because it's raining I have less traction. Totally just almost rear-ended that truck. comedic value aside, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I zoomed in and got you guys a good view of that. Okay, so in any event... I think Volvo is what Ecstasy says they drive? This truck is not speeding up. I don't know if it's because they know it slows down here. I'm wanting to go at the same speed as them in this case, if I can't go past them. Okay. So... what the hell? What do you... okay. Yes, get off. Okay. Now that blockage is out of my artery. I like the gameplay of Odyssey pretty well. I really like the way that it tries to have the different choices you make approaching certain missions or deciding to go after and not go after certain characters, decide things. But I also kind of hate that. And the reason is, as much as it's interesting and works as a game, I come from the perspective of Assassin's Creed needs to be retelling you the real version of historical events. And if the game gives you all these choices like it's a Mass Effect game, and not a very good Mass Effect game, mind you, but there are definitely some choices you can make in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that you might not pick up on first blush. There are definitely a bunch of missions in the game that play out differently based on how you either approach them or what characters you interacted with or what have you. And that's really cool, except for the part where you don't change history, you just experience it. And I thought it was, just to be clear, to put all my cards on the table, I thought it was kind of weird back in like Assassin's Creed 2 when Ezio was doing upgrades to the villa, and they would go through that shimmering effect of, ooh, you remember now that there is an upgrade to this villa. And that kind of bugged me a little bit because it was a video game and you could pick up the upgrades in any order, and you were just like assuming, like you were just clearly whatever order you picked up the upgrades, you were only remembering that you had an upgrade because actually Ezio was always going to get that upgrade, and that upgrade was going to happen. It's just like now you remember, oh yeah, he had an upgrade. But not like Odyssey, where you can legit have different dialogue with different characters that affects how missions play out, options you have for upcoming missions, and stuff of that nature. And it's cool in its video game premise, like as far as you being able to do that. But it's also kind of not cool if you're trying to tell a real meaningful narrative, like linear story, because you're making the story branch, and that's inherently not good for playing. Wow, I hydroplaned. I also didn't hit that car. I don't know how I didn't hit that car. But I didn't hit that car. That was frightening. I literally, I thought I was actually gonna tumble over there. I haven't had the back end of the truck, like, wig out on me like that in a long time. So, props to the rain. Doing its job. Definitely wet happened there. Also, it helps that I'm not driving my own vehicle, so I can't learn how it handles. But, yikes. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so, like, that's kind of like, I dock it points on the story front because of the way it presents its story. And it's kind of weird to say I like the way the story stuff is as a game, but I don't think it works in Assassin's Creed. But it's true. Like, I think the gameplay loop is enjoyable. I think the leveling isn't as bad or as egregious a problem as it is in Origins because of the way they because of the way you can almost always, if you're kidding yourself out to be an assassin, to stealth, and to stab somebody and to take them out, and you're picking the right, whatever it is, shadow powers, I forget exactly, like, what skill class you go up, Panther or something like that. I don't remember what it's called in that game. But when you go up that direction to be able to stab people, then you can still assassin guys who are above you in level, which is something you can't say about Origins. I kind of would have expected a drop in speed limit here, but I don't see one yet. But yeah, and it is honestly way too long. It is, it and Origins both hit this weird place in my mind where I'm like, some people complain about how big a game is because you can't get all of it done, and I'm somebody who likes having a lot of stuff to do, but I honestly feel both Origins and Odyssey are officially too big. I feel like it would have been better to have a smaller game world and more focused characters and more focused stories and have more dialogue options or more dialogue straight up with, okay, now I'm slower? Like, I think all of that would have been better if you'd spent the money on that instead of making a giant-ass world map that I do not give any shit about traversing. And don't get me wrong, I set my, I set my, guide thing to where it would only give me, like, the vague direction of how to get to where I was going. You need to go to the lake that's up here and then go east to the town, yada yada. Like, you can set it that way in the options screen, and I found that way more enjoyable for, like, Breath of the Wild style, like, roaming the countryside. I'm not going to say doing that wasn't entertaining, but also, there's so much map. There's so much map. I'm not about to take a ferry, am I? I thought I picked a route without ferry. Yeah, and that's lots of what I got to say about Odyssey. So, nearing the top of my list, underrated game in the series, Assassin's Creed Liberation, sometimes called Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. And Assassin's Creed Liberation actually hits the length just right perfect. And it was really fun contrast to play that game pretty close to Odyssey because of it. Like, I wasn't expecting a lot out of Liberation because it was originally a PSP game, but I played the non-remastered, just HD version of the game that was on PS3, and it was one of the first games in the series that I got all the trophies for and totally completed it. And its chapter select for going after your things was really good. Its progression was really good. Its unique gameplay style, where like you basically had three kind of personas for the main character, or how exactly they would approach a situation. You could play as a noble, you could play as a slave girl, and you could play as your assassin garb. And each one of those had different amounts of like stuff they could do and get away with, what speed they could walk at, and what like abilities they had access to, as far as like, I think you get like a stealth dart gun takedown with the noble garb from the umbrella and stuff like that. And that's pretty cool. Like, it's different gameplay. I like the story, and I like that I think it's the only game in the series in which you are officially playing in Abstergo Entertainment edited version of events. So you're actually playing out story as it is. Those events don't really change, but the way they cut the scenes in the game are purposeful to give you an Abstergo version of events that you understand as you play through the game, until you do all the side quests that get you going after the glitches, so that you can, go for the true ending. And going for the true ending lets you see like the full version of some of the cutscenes in the game that you've already watched. without the time jumps, and without the skips and the cuts. That's a really, really cool narrative device that, again, is one of those things that you can say a lot about how Assassin's Creed plays out, is lots of the games in the series have a cool gimmick or idea in them that basically never comes up again. And that's one of those things that's really interesting that I would love to see some version of again, and we just haven't yet in, like, whatever, 14 games or something. And I'm not somebody who's super huge into collectathons or achievements, but I mean, I am trying to go for achievements in games that I think I can acquire. And I will say, Liberation is pretty free as far as you being able to go for the achievements. I can't quite see. God damn it! I just checked my speed. I just checked my speed. I was not speeding, and then suddenly I was speeding, and a cop was just there. It's so rude. I hate reloading. I just want to play it straight, but, like, this... Oh, God, I'm so far behind. I apologize to everyone. I apologize profusely to everyone. I'm not going to say that's insubstantial amount of back. I am very back. Oh, man. I'm going to have to check the timer on how asleep I am or otherwise in character. Man, I was trying to pay attention to things. Okay, so it's 50 up here, through this roundabout. That other time a few minutes ago where there was a change in speed that the game didn't even notate, that was really bothersome. But this time, I don't know, we'll find out. I suspect there was actually a sign there and I just didn't see it. Just like in America, in Europe, the cops want you to slow down to the speed of the sign before you get to it, which is kind of hard to do when you can't make out the sign, which is a problem I have. I don't know if it's a resolution issue or that the screen I'm playing on isn't very big, but I am having trouble reading the signs from a distance, and then of course, you know, it would have been nighttime, so it would have been a little bit more difficult to see the sign. I don't know, I'm not trying to make excuses. And like I said, I usually just keep playing, as has been the case up to this point, but I'm going for a very specific achievement that requires me to basically play perfect for a long period of time. And it's one thing to play perfect for a short period of time. What does that say? That's do not pass. Okay, that had nothing to do with speed limit. I'm going to turn on my high beams because I don't think you get in trouble for high beaming into traffic. That is lane something. That says intersection. I'm trying to see it. Okay, it's still... Okay, what's this? Oh, wait, is this the assumed you have to go slower around construction? Oh, there's a 30 sign right there. I did not see that. Is that what I got for? I think that's what I must have got for. Was this... Wait, but I don't remember going around construction. Was that just randomly generated this time? I'm a little confused. Then you pass that sign and it goes back to 80. Is that what happened? No, I was entering city, wasn't I? Wasn't it much darker than it is now? Guys, I don't know what happened. I don't know. But we're driving with the high beams on now. It's just how it is. I don't think you get a fine for that. I would expect you to kind of maybe possibly get a fine for it, but it's more just rude. And, no, I was past this T intersection. Was it the intersection? I don't think it was the intersection, right? A lot of times they have you just go slower at the intersection and nowhere else. Alright, so that said 80. That is not a speed limit. What the? Eh? Okay, there's no sign, and also it must be checked digitally. Like, there must be one of those cameras that I can't see. This is going to be the longest occasion of playing this. Where am I now?
Ready to roll.
Once again, I apologize, but I'm going for the achievements. I'm gonna regret it. I feel like I'm gonna regret going for the achievement. This is gonna suck the fun out of it. So maybe I'll end up putting this achievement off for a while. We'll do the math at the end of this run, and we'll see how it rocks out as far as like if I'm on pace. Because basically, I need to be getting an average of more than 2 experience points per kilometer. That's basically what it rocks out to. And I need to do that over the time period of like it says on the achievement itself. What I need is over 10,000 experience points gained in less than 20,000 miles. So that was okay. So here's a third. So this does exist. So let's slow the hell down. 30. Then back up to 80. Is it just is it just a thing accepted in Europe that you're supposed to slow down to a certain speed when you go through? Because that said I was 17 miles an hour over. I think I was slowing down from 80. So is that 60, or was I actually slowed enough that it would have been 50? I don't know how this is working, guys. I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. Okay, hold on. Is there a speed check by radar thing?
Keep right.
Let's... Okay, she says keep right. Let's go 50. 80. Is that a sign? Am I not reading that? What does that say? Yes, that says 50. Wait, but I think it already said I need to be 50 before that. I think my minimap had already changed over. I don't know. I couldn't read that sign. I gotta be super observant, apparently. We back, and we're already back to 80. Wait, but that's a little sign. What does that little sign say? That's a do not pass sign. That's a 70. So we just went from 50 to 80 to 70. Speed changes so frequently in Europe, it's crazy. I'm waiting for that little tick in the top left corner of the screen that's going to tell me that it auto-saved, because that's kind of a thing I want. 50 again? 50 again. And then 40.
Exit now.
I think I may have dinked the trailer on that one. Still 40 through this long-ass turn. Nice cityscape, though. Alright, we are almost at the destination, so hopefully we're going to see how this all rocks out, and if the math is in our favor. May the odds forever be in your favor. That's not what I meant. I meant high beams. I pressed the wrong button. Because I can't read this sign from far away. Okay, that's a slash. Man, I'm super attentive on the stupid signs at this point now. I guess you gotta be when you're trying to go for this achievement, because otherwise, I mean, little mistakes here and there where you get fines, no big deal, right? But I'm still at the early portion of this game where I'm just trying to make money. 50. I didn't see that sign either.
Turn right.
Turning right. Wait, turning right, but stop sign, so stop sign violation if I go through this, I imagine. I can see the flag on the marker for where I'm going. Do 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 do. Okay, this still says 50. I'm gonna be needing to make a left-hand turn up ahead.
Keep left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Hi, guy. You're getting kind of close to my lane there. I'm just trying to get home at this point. Let's go. I think I want to be on the right side of the road for a turn, eventually.
Keep
Oh wait, no, that's a left.
Turn left.
Another red light.
Turn left.
We'll do the math and see how this works out after this is over. I can't believe I reloaded the same checkpoint 3 times when I don't even hate reloading checkpoints. I have to... This is not representative of how I normally play, I apologize. I just can't. Achievements. They are what they are. The plight of achievement hunting. But the thing is, a lot of the achievements in this game are very much over long periods of time. So I'm trying to make progress. Like basically, even if it's going to be a long way away, I'm trying to always be making progress on some achievement. That's kind of my plan. And this achievement is going to take a while to do, but unfortunately it's going to take a while to do consecutively while I'm trying to play at the beginning of the game. But I also need to do quick travel missions right now because I'm passing my truck off to employees so that they can make money. So it's kind of the prime opportunity to do it.
Turn left.
Okay, come up here and turn left. Because it will allow me to do quick travel jobs, which I need to do to get the money to get my 3rd truck. Alright, we're still going 50 maximum up here. Oh, I thought I was looking for a left or right turn, but apparently it's just go straight ahead.
Finally. We're hit.
And you gotta go for the complicated parking so that you can get the bonus experience points. That really makes all the difference. I haven't done auto parking one single time since I started playing Euro Truck, so... Proceed towards the red flag on the map, working on it. Whoops. Oh, is that the monorail? I've heard that noise sometimes, and I've not quite... Oh, whoops. Whoops. Apparently I got a little distracted. Let me see where this... Is that not enough? That's not quite enough. Well, at least I'm basically lined up this time. I basically got it. Button. Alright, here's my stat screen. We will figure out the math between recordings, but for anybody who is watching later on YouTube, I thank you for watching. This has been Improvision Entertainment presents Euro Truck Simulator 2. I have been Huntermun, and I will see you in the future.